Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a few different cooking oils and their different uses. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. Every few months there's something coming out about a different cooking oil, like coconut oil is the best, just kidding, it's the worst, have olive oil for everything, but don't cook with olive oil, all these different things, and it's kind of hard to decipher what is good for you, what you should use for different things, and just all the different aspects of all these different oils, if it's really bad, if it's really good, and just their different benefits as well. So I'm going to break down the 5 most common cooking oils, how you can cook with them, what their smoke point is, and what they are best used for. So let's get straight into it. The very first one that I'm going to jump into is vegetable oil. Now, vegetable oil is a chemically processed oil and it's not that great for you. Things with vegetable oil are just like not that good, and it's kind of like from any vegetable. It's just heavily processed and pretty high in saturated fats as well. Vegetable oil is used a lot because of its high smoke point. It can go up to 400 or 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's used for a lot of different things like frying, and because it is chemically processed, it is super inexpensive, which is why a lot of restaurants will just lean towards vegetable oil instead of a more expensive oil in order to cut back on costs. But for your home cooking and if you're making things for yourself, vegetable oil is the one that you should just completely avoid. Again, it is hard to avoid when you're eating out and you're not going to be asking everybody what oils they're cooking in when you're already sitting down. So when you're out and about, obviously it's not the best, but where you can control is in your own kitchen, and I would say just don't buy it at all. Just avoid vegetable oil at all costs. Now, another chemically processed oil is canola oil, and unlike vegetable oil though, this one is chemically processed, but it's not as bad for you, and it also has a lot fewer saturated fats, and saturated fats are what we don't want because they do raise the bad cholesterol. So while cholesterol in your food, like in eggs for example, isn't horrible, you don't want to raise that bad cholesterol, which is what's more common in vegetable oil, whereas canola oil, you can get away with it a bit more. So while it is chemically processed and a bit more inexpensive, it is the better option out of the two. So sometimes restaurants, especially nowadays with everybody being a bit more health conscious, will opt for canola oil over vegetable oil, again because it's really good for frying, for baking, for cooking, because of the high smoke point of 450 degrees, because of its inexpensiveness, and because of its neutral flavor. There are other oils that do have a stronger flavor, which you might not want to be adding to your cake, for example. So canola oil is one of those oils that does have a neutral flavor and has, while not the best of oils, is really good for its cost. And now on to the more trendy oils, so to speak. The first one I'm going to go over is extra virgin olive oil. And extra virgin olive oil is just olive oil that hasn't been refined, so it's a bit fresher and it's a bit better for you. But olive oil, unlike other oils, does have a really low smoke point at 325 to 375, kind of depending on the brand of your olive oil. It doesn't necessarily go bad to where it's going to cause any harmful effects to your body, which are what a lot of people did say. So while it won't cause any harm, it's just not the best. Olive oil is known for its really distinct flavors, kind of depending on what olive oil you're getting and which one you like. And once it reaches over its smoke point, it just kind of breaks it down. So it's not bad for you, but all the nutritional benefits of olive oil, of all those really good healthy fats, kind of go away, they break away, and that really good olive oil flavor is no longer there. So if you are going to use olive oil, I recommend getting a really good extra virgin olive oil, and it's really good for drizzling on salads, mixing it with some lemon juice to put on top of a salad to have a really nice healthy dressing with really good healthy fats. And if you do want to cook with it, kind of stick to sauteing, doing things on low heat on the stovetop, not something that I would want to put all over my vegetables and stick in the oven at 450 degrees, because then it just kind of breaks down and you just kind of like wasted a more expensive oil on it. So olive oil, really good, has a lot of really good health benefits, but not for every single cooking thing that you may want to use it for. Another popular oil that has a lower smoke point is coconut oil. Coconut oil has a smoke point of 350 degrees Fahrenheit, so again, not the best for roasting your vegetables unless you're roasting them at a lower temperature. and also not the best for roasting vegetables because coconut oil does have a pretty distinct flavor. So unless you really like that flavor on your vegetables, I wouldn't recommend roasting them in it all the time. I have roasted little peewee potatoes in coconut oil before, and it did make them super sweet and super good, but I roasted them at 350 degrees as to not break down all the health benefits of the coconut oil. So coconut oil, like butter, for example, has a lot of saturated fat, which is why it's able to be so solid at room temperature. But unlike butter, butter raises your bad cholesterol, and coconut oil, because of the different fat structures in it, while it is saturated fat, raises both the good and bad cholesterol. So kind of giving a little and taking a little there. But just like butter, how butter is really creamy and really good for baking, coconut oil is really good for that too because of its texture. So it'll make things nice and creamy, but again, better for baking or for a low saute or really low heat roasting, more so than putting everything on the oven and kind of making your whole meal around coconut oil and cooking just with coconut oil. And last but not least, another really popular oil is avocado oil. So I have both the oil and the spray, and the reason I like the spray is because it doesn't make as much of a mess and I can evenly coat all my vegetables, because avocado oil is really good for roasting vegetables. It has a pretty high smoke point of around 400 to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, but it does lack that flavor. So it's a very neutral flavor, which is also why it's really good for roasting. It's really good for sauteing. It's really good for anything baking even, because it does kind of replace olive oil and you can cook it at a higher temperature. And unlike olive oil though, because it doesn't have any flavor, it's not something that I would want to like drizzle on a salad. It just kind of like lacks flavor, whereas olive oil, you get a few more health benefits and that really good olive oil flavor, which is better for on a salad. So this one's really good for just all around cooking. However, it is a bit more on the expensive side, but for good reason. It is really low in saturated fats, unlike coconut oil, and is really high in the monounsaturated fats, which are the healthy fats that we want. So the whole reason avocados are good, same with avocado oil. So personally for me, these ones are like almost out because they are my absolute favorite. If I'm sauteing, doing anything on the stove really, I put avocado oil first. And again, when I'm roasting anything, I'll just put my oven, because typically around 400 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'll just give everything a nice little spray. It really keeps it nice and clean versus drizzling oil and like the oil getting everywhere. So I really do love the spray. And then again, for drizzling and more when I'm just eating the oil on its own, not like I'm like drinking oil on its own, but like, you get what I mean, not in something, then olive oil is what I typically use for that. Well, there you have it. Those are the 5 most common cooking oils and their benefits and what you can use them for. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your favorite cooking oils are and any that I may have missed, and what else you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.